If we want to build a system or a software, we should not develop or start coding to build the software. Before starting the development, we have to keep in mind that there are several important things to do before starting software or system development to make it robust, reliable, and user-friendly. To make a software or build a software or a system, we have several steps to make a software. It is familiar as SDLC, called abbreviated SDLC. Full form is Software or System Development Lifecycle. First phase is planning. Plan has several ways to execute, or which has plan, schedule, approval, feasibility, project scheduling, Gantt chart, CPM, part. These things are including in planning section. After the planning section, we move to the next phase called analysis. Understanding and analyzing all the needs, and then we move to or stay forward to the design section. Design requirements such as use case, activity diagram, sequence diagram, class diagram, DFD, data flow diagram, and ER diagram. If we use relational database management system, then we have to use ER diagram. Those things are in the design section. And the next section is implementation section, where we do coding and testing. So here comes our coding or testing part, which means the development part. And after that, the maintenance section. Keep improving and provide maintenance to the client or to the customer. And see, from here we can see that implementation, which is coding and testing, is a simple or a short or a small part of a software development process. But when you want to build a software, we just start coding. That's it. But we have a lot of things to do before it and after developing the system. Coding is a small part of total software development process. We have discussed as earlier. But today we will start from the development phase. We will not go through the planning section, analyzing section, designing section. If you guys want to make me discuss those things, please let me know. I will make a video about those topics. No problem if you guys want to learn it. Today we will start building an e-commerce application. We will be using the technology is our Spring Boot for backend and Angular for frontend, and for database part we will be using MySQL Workbench, and we will learn things from here and we will learn together, okay? And in the Spring Boot section we will cover so many things such as Spring Security, Spring Data JPA, and Lombok, Spring Web, and many more. So let's go and let's go to the Spring Starter website. Just simply search on Google or which search engine you use. Just search Spring Starter or Spring Starter Initializer. It will go to and click on this website called Spring Initializer, and we will make the project, backend project, Spring Boot project. From here we will just make the zip file our requirement file, and then we will unzip it and open the folder to our favorite IDE, such as IntelliJ IDE, Eclipse, VS Code, and anywhere you want to do coding, no problem. So just language as select Java, and build tools will be Maven, and we'll be using 3.1.6 Spring Boot version. Already here 3.2.0. So you can choose 3.2.0. I will be choosing 3.1.16, and just make the group name. You can provide your company name or your name here, no problem. And artifact will be e-commerce, just name e-commerce them Spring Boot. Sorry. And the description will be e-commerce project using Spring Boot. So the packaging will be .jar, and Java will be using Java 17. And after that, we will add some dependencies from here, called web, Spring Web, Lombok, and JPA for persisting data into the database, and the Spring Security. And we will be using MySQL driver, and that's all we need from here. MySQL, Web, Lombok, Security, JPA. Okay, so after making these things, or adding those, after adding these dependencies, we will click on generate section, and it will generate and download, and we will unzip the zip file, and we will import this folder on our favorite IDE. But before that, we will be make sure that our database is ready to work. You can use MySQL Workbench and XAMPP application also, no problem. And I will be using native user client. Password was see here, I have entered password correctly. Now we are going to make a database. Create a database. Create database. Our e-commerce DB. So we will just copy it down. So now we're going to see our create database statement executed successfully. This is our e-commerce DB. we will just copy it from here, and you can just memorize it. I'm just making sure that I am not doing any mistake here. And we will open our favorite IDE, and it will take some time to load. Eclipse IDE takes sometimes for loading. Just keep patience. After that, we will just configure our application.properties file to configure our database and to configure our database. Let's see, it is taking some time. So our Eclipse IDE runs successfully, and we will open our project from here. Yes, this is our project. Sorry for that. This is our folder. So it's already just make me. So we have just opened our file or project. We just had some problem, and this is our project file, and this is the name you are going. We had named our project, and first we are going to set up our application.properties file. So what are we gonna say here? Spring dot the source you can use some you can install some plugin or extension to make these suggestions. And data source dot URL equal to, just type what I'm typing here, JDBC MySQL localhost, our MySQL port here, and then our DB name, what we have the DB database we have created in our MySQL workbench. This is the name, and localhost, and then our MySQL port. That's it. And after that, we are going to data source dot username, and we're going to put the username here, which is in my, let's see, in my MySQL workbench. Oh, that was a native user. And after that, we are going to put our data source password, data source dot password, my MySQL login password is native pass. So after that, I'm going to add the driver class, spring dot data source dot driver class name com dot MySQL dot cj dot JSBC dot driver, suggesting me. So providing this, and now for Spring JPA Hibernate and DDL auto, Spring JPA Hibernate DDL auto. We'll be using update here. We're going to use update here because every time we run the application, if the database is not created or the table is not created, it will automatically create, and if the database and table is created, then it will not create the database. So that's why we're mentioning in update here. And now spring dot jpa dot show SQL. Here we're going to show SQL true. So we have just configured our application.properties file. Don't forget to save these things, otherwise it will not automatically save. VS Code has automatically save option, but this doesn't have automatically save option, so don't forget to save it, otherwise it may cause errors. And now we are going to make a class, and the package would be entity. Entities, and our package is going to be user. The class is going to be the user. So our class is here, and now we are going to make some properties here. First of all, we are going to annotate it by entity. Entity is for we just want to create the class name in as table. So for mentioning entity here, we're just making user table in the database, and we're going to use data that will be importing from Lombok. The data consists getter, setter, and all our constructor. Altogether comes with other data. So you don't have to make getter and setter files from here. These getters and setters files and constructors and fields, you don't have to do it. It will just make your task easier. Lombok. That's why we have imported the Lombok, and we can name the table as we want. Table name will be user, and let's import table. And after that, we're going to private long ID and private string email, and we're going to take password, private string password. And now we're going to make ID as primary key. So for that, we have to use ID annotation from here, and we are just going to make automatic ID creation. For that, we just have to generated value, and strategy will be generation type dot identity. So for now, we have to make string name and role 2, as we will be doing user. We will do some task according to the user, admin or normal user. So for that, we just need user role as role. User role as role, and after that, private, we will take picture of the user as profile or other steps. So we're going to take image as variable name and log for large object, as the image file may be long enough. So for that, we're going to use annotation LOB, which means large object, and we will use the column name. We will use column definition as long blob. Column definition is long below means long, and B means binary, and LOB is large object. So we didn't import our lob. We have imported it, and now we're going to create user role enum. So for that, we just have to create enum enums packages, and we will create enum as user role. Now finished, and we just have to import. Where is it? We just have to import user role from enum. So that's it. The error has gone. Now user role will contain admin and customer. So that's it from user role. Now we're going to look at the application property. Is everything going all right or not? Now we are going to test our application. So for test, we are just running Spring Boot app. Sorry, some error has occurred. So it called class not found exception. So let's solve it. So the problem was in application.property file. The error was class not found exception. So we have just check my class name here, and there was this semicolon before. That's why the error happened. So I am just going to remove the semicolon and rerun the application. Let's see what happened. Run Spring Boot, and let's see what is going to say. So they are calling that H0 port is running the Tomcat server. So let's see the database, if the database has created or not. So we can see our e-commerce DB, and there is our table, and after reloading the table we have just got our user table here. So if we want to check whether user table has some data or not, just check it by select star from e-commerce DB dot user. See, already the user table is suggesting me here, and now we don't have any data here. Just we have ID, email, image, name, password, and role as we had in our user entity. So we had ID, email, password, name, and role. So that's all for today. We are going to make some we are going to make some stops in our next tutorial, or in our next tutorials. Yes. So enough for today. So just thanks for watching, and I will see you in our next tutorial. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, and stay safe.